Hi, this is Cole Smithy with ColeSmithy.com, your guide to what to see and what to avoid at the movies this week. You might read the title Girlhood and think that some ambitious, perhaps female filmmaker is taking on Richard Linklater at his most recent game. Indeed, if you consider Celine Sciamma's substantial pedigree as the masterful writer-director behind such youth-centric LGBT triumphs as Water Lilies and Tomboy, you could arrive at the conclusion that Richard Linklater has been taking some notes from her. When compared to her first two tour de force films, Girlhood reveals itself to be every bit as insightful and authentic a cinematic representation of a personal female coming-of-age experience in modern-day France. For the record, Girlhood stands up well opposite Linklater's Boyhood as another essential filmic chapter in the global political, socio-economic, and cultural challenges facing young people in the 21st century, albeit from vastly different cultural backgrounds. Newcomer Khadija Touré plays Mariam, aka Vic, a shy 16-year-old black girl living with her younger sister, their physically and psychologically abusive older brother, and his young daughter in a low-income housing project on the outskirts of Paris. Khadija Touré is a force of nature on par with Adele Exarchopoulos, the unforgettable actress from Blue is the Warmest Color. Both actresses embody a feminine mystique best celebrated on the big screen. While it may seem premature to deem Khadija Touré's performance in Girlhood a breakthrough success, that is precisely what it is. Having failed the same grade 2 years in a row, Mariam is at a crossroads. Her grades are too low for her to advance into high school.
You set the pace and don't look back. I get no chance to follow.
A counselor informs Mariam that vocational training is her only option. Sciamma's static camera faces the worried Mariam so that we never see the faceless bureaucrat with whom Mariam pleads. "It's not my fault," she says. The stern counselor replies, "So whose fault is it, Mariam?" It's clear that unseen social forces are pushing Mariam into a life in which she will have increasingly less control. Mariam's immediate need for social acceptance and familial support sends her into the life of a girl gang member where she can recast her identity as a person in charge of her fate, however dubious that future may be. Lady, played by Aja Sila, Lindsay, played by Keremo Adiatu, and Philly, played by Mariatou Touré, are a gang of tough black chicks who accept Mariam into their clique. With the gift of a cheap necklace, they recast Mariam as Vic. The charismatic girls wear their hair straightened, a look that the braided Vic soon adopts. It is the first of several transformations that Vic will undergo over the course of the film's distinct four-act structure. Vic extorts money from high school girls by bullying them with her older physique and aggressive attitude she learned from her domineering brother. She hands over extorted euros to Lady, the gang's leader. With the money, the girls live out their role-play ambitions as beloved pop stars when they dance and lip-sync along to Rihanna's Diamonds in the privacy of a plush hotel room where they model freshly stolen dresses, smoke pot, and drink booze. Filmed under a blue filter, the longingly dynamic sequence captures glimpses of the girls' innate potential as beauty objects for commodification. Increasingly, Vic makes decisions that cross social taboos and expose her to new dangers. As with Celine Sciamma's other films, the filmmaker gracefully avoids judging her character's actions, behaviors, and choices. Vic experiments with bisexuality, drug selling, and a romantic relationship with a boy with whom she has been smitten for some time.
Et là, je me suis arrêtée et je vous ai regardé. Vous étiez belle. Et je me suis dit que ce moment, il était parfait.
The mystery of Vic's transition from girlhood into adulthood is tempered by the bold choices she makes. Vic is getting better at making informed decisions. Girlhood is a stunner. I give this outstanding picture an A+. My sleeper pick is Marjan Satrapi's The Voices, and my guilty pleasure pick is Ballet 422. My must-have DVDs are A Day in the Country from the Criterion Collection, Necromantique 2 from Cult Epics, and Vandal from First Run Features. Co-writer-director Serbian Spasojevic plays hardball on the field of transgressive cinema in one of the most banned films in modern history. Since its release in 2010, a Serbian film has been outlawed in 8 countries, including Spain, Norway, and Brazil. Only heavily censored versions of the film have been shown in England. You couldn't ask for a more succinct and evocative title for Spasojevic's brutal film within a film indictment of wealthy exploiters of post-Kosovo War Serbia. The filmmakers work within the paradigm of calculated filmic satires such as Pasolini's Salo to connect jarring social metaphors concerning powerless family structures pillaged by government and industrial bodies. The attacks are literal, psychological, and physical. The increasingly disturbing narrative is about Miloš, a semi-retired porn star and family man. Serbian everyman Miloš, played by Serdan Todorovic, lives with his wife and their 6-year-old son in a well-appointed house afforded by his years as Serbia's most reliably stiff porn star. Miloš's ever-randy physical condition causes him to take regular gulps of whiskey to tamp down his ever-simmering loins. Miloš's policeman brother Marko has the hots for Miloš's wife Marija to the point that he can barely stand to be alone with her without sneaking off to masturbate. No one is loyal. A princely offer from a heavily financed pornographer with the traditional Serbian name Vukmir, meaning Wolf of Peace, ensures Miloš financial security if he will make one last porn movie baked in the extremes that modern porn audiences expect. The offer comes with the caveat that Miloš isn't allowed to see the script. It's obvious that the black-suited Vukmir and his skeleton film crew are more mobsters than filmmakers, even if Vukmir passionately expresses his desire to reinvent pornography in the guise of a uniquely Serbian work of art. Miloš senses something is wrong on the first day of filming at a disused orphanage where he's called upon to receive a blowjob while watching a dual-screen movie of a young girl named Jika eating an ice cream. Jika's abusive mother became a whore after her husband's wartime death, so, in the context of the film, it's only fitting to Vukmir that she should give Miloš a blowjob while Jika is made to watch. A Gronkinjol episode refers to what Vukmir excitedly refers to as newborn porn. The repulsive scene is as repellent as anything imaginable, and therein lays its transgressive effectiveness as a subatomic particle of micro-macro import. The death of war's violent depravity is unmasked. The sequence points out the most vile aspects of human nature that are publicly and privately acted out in all sorts of perverse acts committed daily by soldiers, priests, police officers, and by members of polite society. The mother is complicit in the horrific murder of her child by a steroid-stoked mercenary because this is what they both desire. The escalating incidents of pedophilia, incest, and necrophilia that follow reflect a country traumatized by otherwise unspeakable acts of violence committed under the auspices of war. We witness the disgusting underbelly of a broken civilization where human values no longer exist. There are no degrees of separation from a communal psychosis that affects every citizen. By putting the narrative in a psychosexual cinematic context, Spasijevic invites the viewer to compare his made-up pornography of death to the similar underlying nature of capitalism's commercial cinema of the West and its attendant sponsors. In order to see the message of Spasijevic's daring work of filmic art, you need only consider the capitalist aspect that makes it possible. Thanks for watching, and visit ColeSmithy.com for more.